You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A Babylon doctor has been sentenced to 4 to 8 years in prison in a second child pornography case. The cardiologist Frank Polero pleaded guilty to the charges back in July. Now, police say they found thousands of pictures and videos of children on his laptop. The 55-year-old has to give up his medical license, which he was allowed to keep after his first child pornography arrest back in 2009. He worked at Babylon Medical Practice since 2011. And police need your help identifying a man involved in a public lewdness incident in Plainview. Take a look. Here's doorbell footage from the home on Grumman's Lane. The man walks up to the house, urinates on the front door, rings the doorbell, then runs away yelling racial slurs. Police are asking anyone with info to call Nassau Crime Stoppers at 1-800-244-TIPS. And the state has voided vaccination records for more than 130 kids. The records were from former nurse practitioner Julie DeVono, who was arrested for selling fake COVID vaccine cards. This is part of an ongoing investigation into her former practice, Wild Child Pediatrics in Amityville. Officials say the children impacted can stay in their programs as long as they get the vaccinations within the first 2 weeks of the school year. And one of the world's most famous voices has been silenced. Hollywood icon James Earl Jones has died.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
Many know him as the voice of Darth Vader in the Star Wars series. Jones overcame a stuttering problem as a child to become a sought-after film star and voice actor. Another one of his famous roles was the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King. Now, Jones died at his Hudson Valley home this morning. The cause of death is not yet known. He was 93 years old. And also big loss in the sports world, Mets Hall of Famer Ed Kranepool has passed away. The team announced he died Sunday in Florida from cardiac arrest. Kranepool was 79 years old. He got his start with the Mets when he was just 17 years old and was still a Met when he retired after the 1979 season. Team owners put out a statement that say in part, "We cherish the time we spent with Ed during Old Timers Day and the years since. Hearing Mets stories and history from Ed was an absolute joy." And the state's first Veterans Village is coming to Island Park.
These are not homeless shelters. These are permanent residences for our veterans who deserve to live with dignity and with pride because they've served their country and their community.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation plans to tear down the condemned Long Beach Motor Inn. The Austin Boulevard site will have more than 40 apartments for homeless veterans. It will also provide services like mental health counseling and job placement. And there's another confirmed case of the West Nile virus here on Long Island. This brings the total number of cases to 11 so far this year. I spoke to Dr. Andrew Handel, pediatrics infectious diseases expert at Stony Brook Children's Hospital, who explains more about this virus.
West Nile virus is a mosquito-transmitted infection, meaning that people get it when they're bit by an infected mosquito. Fortunately, most people who get it actually have no symptoms, but a small portion of people can develop encephalitis or an infection of the brain, and that's our major concern. Those infections can be deadly and can be quite severe, and so any avoidance we can take to making sure that people don't get these infections is really crucial.
So, how are mosquito-borne diseases spread? What other diseases are out there that we should be aware of?
Humans become infected when they're bitten by an infected mosquito, and the way that mosquito became infected was actually by biting an animal, typically with West Nile virus, a bird, that then transmitted the infection to the mosquito and passed it along to humans. Thankfully, there are not many infections on Long Island and in New York that people can get from mosquitoes. West Nile virus is the most common one. Another one we're hearing about in the news right now is Eastern equine virus, but there have been no cases of that in New York, and it is even more rare than West Nile virus is.
You can read more about mosquito-spread illnesses on Long Island. Just go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, more school bus camera tickets were issued in the town of Hempstead last year than in all of Suffolk County. Investigative reporter Peyton Guion explains why.
One is just the sheer density. There are a lot more people per square mile in the town of Hempstead, which means a lot more traffic on each individual road, more opportunities to pass a school bus. But the other one that the town told me is the program's newer. Suffolk County has had the program a full year longer. Drivers are more used to how to react when a bus stops, not drive past because, of course, that's what the law says. If a bus is stopped, it's, stop arm is out. Drivers have to stop no matter what side of the street they're on. In 2023, we're talking almost 250,000.
Wow.
140,000 of those were in the town of Hempstead. A little more than 100,000 were in Suffolk County.
Now, critics call this a cash grab, but there is support for the program.
So I think a lot of people feel aggrieved by the program because, what the law allows is that no matter what side of the street you're on, you must stop for the bus. It doesn't matter if there's a grassy median in between you. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-lane road and, traffic going each way. If the bus is stopped, the stop arm is out, you have to stop. But there have been people in these, bigger highways, 8-lane highways, getting tickets when they were all the way on the other side that I think have people feeling aggrieved. But again, I think what the municipalities and the county would lean on, and what Bus Patrol certainly leans on, is that this is what the law says.
Let's read more about this story. Go to newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. A 13-year-old Jets superfan from Long Island is making a name for himself in the podcasting world. Jamie Stewart has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Like most 13-year-olds on Long Island, Connor Long is adjusting to being back in school.
It's going well. I mean, I just started. Just wrapped up my first week. I started on Tuesday.
But unlike most teens, when Connor's done with his homework, he doesn't jump on the phone or play video games. He heads to his studio.
What is up, New York Jet fans? Welcome back to NY Flight Jets Talk.
Yes, Connor is a podcaster talking about what else but his beloved New York Jets.
The Jets are on my mind 7 days a week, 24/7.
And despite his youth, Connor already has landed some big-time guests.
Who better to bring on than someone who's actually at the game? He covers the New York Jets for ESPN. Mr. Rich Cimini joining the show. ESPN's senior insider, Mr. Adam Schefter, joins the show.
How did you get these great guests?
So a lot of it goes to, building relationships. You start off with one that builds to another. Then, like you said, I had Rich Cimini on. Okay, I had that. I've interviewed Rich Cimini, and then it slowly starts building. I've had.
So you're like a journalist. You're just hitting the pavement.
Exactly.
Connor's show is gaining in popularity, but his name really took off when he was a guest caller on the national Rich Eisen show.
Why are you a Jet fan, Connor?
Bingo.
Why am I a Jet fan? That's a very good question. So I was actually born into the fan base. My dad's a big Jet fan, but I actually had a chance to get out.
I said, here's the deal. If you pick a new team, you got to ride with them for your whole life. That's the deal. We have no bandwagon fans in this house. So he said, Dad, I'm going to sleep on it.
I wake up the next morning and said, Dad, I made my decision. I'm riding with the Jets.
They are currently the betting favorites to win the AFC East, according to DraftKings Sportsbook.
Connor says he doesn't regret his decision and predicts big things for Gang Green this season.
How many wins for the Jets this season?
12-5. 12-5. Jets are winning 12 games.
Regardless of what happens on the field, the experts say Connor is gearing up for a successful run of his own.
And I would just tell you to keep working hard and chasing your dreams. And if this is what you love to do, keep doing it.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
Great kid, great dad, great talent. Love to see it. Now, to read more exclusive sports stories just like this one, go to newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your gorgeous Long Island weather. Look how nice the weather looks for the next couple days. All right, so first off, it's going to get a little cooler tonight. We're going to be in the high 50s, and tomorrow, mid-70s, but we'll have sun. Taking a closer look at tomorrow, we pretty much have sun all day, and this looks a lot like the 7-day forecast, which is just really exciting to see. Check it out for yourself. 7-day forecast, sun, 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 a bit of clouds, but I don't see any rain, folks, and those temps are near 80s. It's going to be a really nice week.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Booth, and thank you so much for joining us.